The Chicago Police Department, hundreds strong, said goodbye to one of their own today. Chicago Police Officer Bernie Domagala was buried with full honor.
Reporters gathered today to remember a Chicago police officer who died last week, 3 decades after he was shot in the line of duty. Officer Bernie Domagala's life was honored today.
The touching ceremony on the South Side came nearly 3 decades after the 66-year-old Domagala was shot in the line of duty and seriously wounded.
Today, Denise Domagala stood with her sons, who were very young when their father was shot, and hundreds of officers, a few who were there that day in 1988, but most only knew of Domagala, and by extension, the risks of the job.
My name is Denise Domagala. I'm married to Bernie Domagala. Bernie is a Chicago police officer. In 1988, Bernie was on a hostage situation, and he was shot in the head, catastrophically injured. He survived, physically survived, with traumatic brain injury. At the time Bernie was shot, we had a 4-year-old son and 4-month-old sons. We were just like everyone else. It was a normal day. Bern was at work. I was at home with the boys. Erik was 4 years old. Adam and Craig were 4 months old. And just like any other dad, he called to see how the boys were. He called to see if we needed anything. Just like any other husband, he ended the conversation saying, "See you later, I love you." I was feeding the twins when the doorbell rang, and it was ringing and ringing. I walked over to the door, I opened it and saw 2 plainclothes policemen. The radios were going, and I knew something was wrong. The officers kept saying I had to go with them. Bern was hurt. I remember hearing the calls as we raced to the hospital. I had no idea that our family's life had already changed.
Due to his injury, Officer Domagala was confined to a wheelchair and lived in a long-term rehabilitation center that provided 24-hour nursing care for several years. During this time, he underwent multiple brain surgeries, but still suffered complications from the original gunshot wound. Police Officer Bernie Domagala served the Chicago Police Department for 7 years prior to his life-altering injury. He is survived by his wife and 3 sons.
Many mansions, as some verses or some versions of Scripture have it. Certainly, while Bernie has not gotten too accustomed to any one particular dwelling place in the last 29 years, as he has gone from hospital to rehab center to other hospital to skilled care center, many of us have seen him at these various different places. He finally has an eternal dwelling place, a home with no more medicines, no more doctors and nurses and caregivers, no more rehab, no more earthly struggles, no more pains. Thank God for that gift. Jesus tells his disciples, as he tells us today, do not let your hearts be troubled. Bernie was a great man, a true hero, a brave soul, a valiant fighter, an inspiration to us all. He had a great sense of humor. He was a hell of a copper. Perhaps the greatest compliment a cop can receive. He was the real police.
Despite his injuries, Domagala would meet with younger officers. He did struggle, but tried to be of service when he could. Domagala was 66. And just a really incredible honor to him and his family. They went through so much.
Police Officer Bernie Domagala's service and sacrifice will never be forgotten by his family, friends, brothers and sisters of the Chicago Police Department.